Hello. So, I was thinking, I was brushing my teeth, and I thought it's amazing how communication is one of the easiest things, right? You open your mouth, words come out. If you don't know words, there's a whole alphabet that helps you to communicate. Simple things we can learn. But it's crazy that the hardest part is being heard. You know, you can talk to people and they're like, I hear you, I hear you. Oh, I know you hear me, but do you understand? It's like telling a child, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. Well, if they've never experienced pain from that situation, they have to learn it, correct? And it's the same with all of us. And it's funny because when it comes to love, we all speak different love languages. There's a lot of different languages, period, around the world. The way that cultures interact is different. The way that we behave is what we're used to or how we were raised. And we're in this big, huge melting pot. This melting pot has become a cesspool, sadly, because it's just so mixed up. My mom and I were talking the other night about communication, certain things. And I told her it's funny we're in Babylon, huh? Just all these different things, you know, and I'm going to keep saying it's funny. It's wild because a lot of people speak English, but the way that it's translated is not understood the same. You know, English is my first and basically my only language. I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but when it comes down to other people speaking, if they had to self-teach the way I had to self-teach, they're not exactly translating it the same. But also, if you weren't raised in that environment, you're not going to express it the same. Whole point is, a lot of things can get lost in translation. A lot of things can get lost just through miscommunication. And last night I was talking to my daughter, and I saw that we had finally had like a breakthrough point. I can always tell when she is getting it, like she's finally believing it or understanding it, because a couple tears will start falling. And I always thought, if she cries, she's comprehending it. And when you comprehend it, that's when it's hard, especially if it's a hard message to comprehend. And the difficult part with communicating, especially with your children, is we teach them to listen. Do as you're told. And they don't feel that they have the right to speak up. And I've always told mine, speak up. If you think I'm wrong, let's talk about it. I'm open for discussion. I am not the almighty ruler. I'm your guide. You were put here with me, not for you to become me or follow in my footsteps. You were here to learn how to navigate this world, and the world is ever changing. Why would I teach you to survive in my world? Because by the time you're my age, the world will be totally different. I don't know if people realize this. You don't have children to become your copy. You honestly want to see them excel and do better than you. Some parents don't. Some parents find that, oh, well, they're better than me. Good. Hopefully they will learn to fly. They will go against all bounds that make any sense in this world. They will make the impossible possible. They will make the unimaginable reality. Because we need that. We need something that's creative beyond our mindset. Our ancestors have left things for us to go, wow, we gawk at these things. They've been there so long that the winds of time are blowing them away. And it's almost as if we lose our imagination, their creation disappears. I remember I started writing a story one time about the gods of nowhere. The ones that were no longer admired. Nobody prayed to them. And the more that the new gods came around, the superheroes, let's say, and everyone was like, oh, they're saving the world. They're doing all these things. The original ones started disappearing. And it became a fight to save nowhere, to stop what was going on. because they knew that if they were forgotten, that everything in time would change. Just little thoughts. But we have to learn to listen, and listen with our heart. We have to learn that when those tears start rolling, somebody's not being a baby. When they lash out or shut down, I've always thought, oh, she's just being bratty. I never realized she didn't know how to express. I don't know how to do that. That confuses me. I don't understand that, because she was embarrassed. A lot of us do that. There's a lot of adults I know that, oh, I can do that. Either they want to look better than what they are, or they're too embarrassed to say, no, I don't know how to do that. But out of all the things you can do in this world, you're not expected to know how to do all of them. That would make you a god or a goddess. It's something that we each have something to give to this world, to bring to the table. When you can start finding your strengths, your superpowers, and sometimes just controlling your emotions, sometimes listening without interrupting, sometimes crying and being vulnerable, those are strengths. It allows other people to go, if you can do that, I don't feel like such a fool. I've known a lot of men that would refuse to cry. And when they would cry, the anger would start coming out. And I would tell them, it's okay to cry. You need to. That is cleansing. That is purging your soul of whatever it is you're trying to hang on to. And instead of getting angry with yourself, allow it to flow. That's like telling a cloud not to rain. Just keep swelling. Do you know how big that cloud would become and how foggy this planet would be if the cycle did not occur? It's not as if women were meant to cry. We all have tear ducts. We all have the ability to feel emotion. We all have ears. Like I said, not everybody has the same capabilities, but we've learned to adjust so we can all communicate. Even somebody who can't hear can usually write and read. So just as easy as we've come up with pen and paper, the message can be spread. Just as easy as opening your ears, opening your heart, and closing your mouth will help you understand where you needed to go. Especially when you learn to sit down and pray. When you learn to sit down quietly and just meditate and say, okay, I need to be led right now. I know a couple weeks ago, I was so just in my head, and I was like, please show me the way. Please show me who my enemies are right in front of me. And it amazed me. People just started disappearing. People I would see on a regular basis. I don't see them anymore. People that were users and abusers got put in different locations to where I might see them in passing, but we're not interacting. We're in the same building, but they're no longer affecting my day. You can always pray for protection. You can always pray for guidance. You can always pray for signs and synchronicities. And understand you will find them if you learn to listen with your soul. Because that's the part of you when you're asking for help, that's the part that's guiding you. That's your higher being. That's who you're trying to get to. We can all be this low-vibing, egotistical, oh yeah, I know, whatever. But where's that going to get you? In a land of not, with people who are lost, who they don't even care if anything good or bad happens for the day. It's just a concept that this is my routine. A routine can be detrimental to your health, mind, body, and soul. It just depends on what kind of routine are you putting in there. Are you mixing it up? Even people that go to the gym won't always work the same part. One day they might do arms. One day they might do legs. One day they might do weights. One day they might do treadmill for cardio. But it's not like go in and hit it hard and hit it all, because if they did that, they'd be like, oh my God, I can't move. My body hurts so bad. because you can only work something at a certain time. You can't do it all. And we've been taught to do it all. Take on the load, take on the burden. If you don't understand, fake it till you make it. And that used to be me so much. I can fake it till I make it. And at some point I was like, I'm tired of faking it. No, I don't get it. No, I don't understand. Because the more I did understand, the more they were like, ask Sheena, she can do it. And I'm like, no, Sheena can't. That is not my job. I'm a team player in all these areas, and you want me to play on that team too? Damn, you want me to just run the whole company? You all go home and y'all get your paychecks and don't worry about me. I'm volunteering. That's how the holidays were. That's how work just depleted me so much. But the lessons I was learning was to learn to speak up. No, I can't do that. No, that's too much. No, I have this on my plate already. No, I'm already helping so-and-so with that. And it's funny because it's like we don't want to say no. We don't want to be the person that everyone's like, oh, I thought you were cool. I guess you thought wrong. I don't know. They think I'm cool. They think I'm cool. And since I'm not doing for you, I'm not cool. It's okay. I don't care what you think of me. You know, you can worry about what the world thinks. You can worry about how everyone views you. Or you can understand it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, they're still going to be miserable if they're already miserable. You may be able to put a smile on somebody's face. You may be able to breathe a little bit of life back into them. But do you want to be somebody who's doing CPR on somebody to keep them going? You would run out of oxygen. It's easier to live your own life than it is to be so concerned with everyone around you. And this has been a very hard lesson for me. Coming from being a people pleaser. Are you okay? Do you need anything? Oh, do you want me to get that for you? Oh, I can do that. You will run yourself ragged. Talk to my feet. My feet have done so much walking since I've started this job, and everyone sees me. It's like I just float on air and I walk around, but they don't realize I'm having to hit that ground every step I take. I feel it just like they do. My mom always said, it's just you make things look so easy that people don't worry about asking you for help. And even though I make it look easy, does not mean that it's easy. It's just I've always been a person that if there is adversity or if there is, oh, you can't do that, I'm like, watch me. I'm about to do this real good. And it goes to that song, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And I was always that person. But now I've become that person that's like, I want to put my feet up. No, I can't do it better. Go cook, show me how. I remember we were putting a fence up in Arkansas. And at first it was like, no, that's my fence. Don't touch that. And then I woke up one day going, wait a second. Work smarter, not harder. No, you're right, I can't. Yeah, go ahead, go help. And I would sit on the porch and just watch somebody else put my fence up. Somebody else that came in and took on the load. And he was such a dangerous worker, I didn't even let my kids help anymore. It became the husband and the crazy neighbor. And it gave me free time. It gave my kids a chance to play rather than their dad use them as slaves. That was hard to even put across the lips. Understand, you can learn to communicate. You can learn to listen. You can learn to search for those answers. Even last night, I made that video. I just called to say I love you. And then I had to run to the store and I get in the car. And I have not heard Stevie Wonder in a long time. And all of a sudden, no New Year's Day to celebrate. And I had to go, I hear you. That's confirmation. When you get that confirmation, when you know that what you said was what you were meant to say, man, that's one of the greatest feelings in the world, because it's almost like Hansel and Gretel. You're on the right path, but you're not going to the witch's cabin. You're getting to go home. You get to find your way out of the darkness, But the only way to find your way out of the darkness is to find the light. Sometimes you are the light. Sometimes you are what brings hope to other people. Just by you hearing them and understanding them, and they're like, I'm not invisible. Oh my God, people can hear me. Once you get on that path, you start to understand, I'm just hanging out with the wrong crew. When you can learn to separate yourself from the wrong, you will find the right. Don't use my navigational tool, because when I was learning to drive and I was young and I had that freedom to do whatever, I was like, right is always right. It didn't matter if I was going in a square. This looks familiar. But I refused to go left because I believed right was always right. And the world that we live in, and I know that was just some sort of a theoretical understanding, but the world that we live in, what we're told is right is often wrong, and what we're told is wrong is often right. That's why certain people are called rebels. They're the freedom fighters. They're the ones that tell you, no, you're better than this. We speak up often. We get looked down upon often. We get challenged every single day. And then people see us and go, oh, there's no way you're that strong. There's no way you're that nice. There's no way you control yourself that well. I can't do it. Do you try? Have you put any effort into this world beyond what you want out of it? Because that's the difference between a leader and a follower. That's the difference between someone here to shake up the system, to break it down, to build it up better, compared to someone who is just easygoing, flowing with the system, that knowing it is not right. At what point do we learn to communicate? At what point do we learn to open our ears and close our mouths? At what point do we dig a little deeper and go, something's bothering you, and I know I can't solve it, but I can sit around long enough and pay attention and go, that's what it was. A lot of it is just feeling overlooked and neglected. Feeling as if you're in competition when there's no competition around. Just remember, you can't compete where you don't fit in. And don't try to compete with the masses. They're really not going anywhere. So on that note, peace out. Have a great day.